What's up, everyone? Jeff Gross here, and today I wanted to talk with you about bad beats. So, recently on my podcast, I had the pleasure of talking with Maria Konnikova, who is the author of The Biggest Bluff, as well as many other books. But this is a recent one pertaining to poker. We had a really nice conversation, and one of the things that we spoke about was her working with Eric Seidel and talking about bad beats and how not to share them and why so. Let's just talk a little more in depth about what this is and why this is not a good thing to discuss bad beats. So one way she articulated it, which I agree with completely, but I had never heard it put this exact way, is talking about dumping your garbage on somebody's lawn. So you wouldn't just, if you live in a neighborhood, you wouldn't just take your garbage and go over to your next door neighbor and just drop it on their lawn. You just wouldn't do it. It doesn't make sense. It's not right. It's not pleasant. It's not fun. It's not respectful, and it's just wrong. So similarly, if you look at it like that, sort of like saying a bad beat. I had pocket queens, they had pocket tens, and the flop was so and so, and they went all in. They made and they hit a 10 on the river, and I can't believe it. And just think about that. Like when you put that energy, when you're taking that, especially if your other friends or people are playing poker or you want to bet, it's like you're talking about how unlucky you are. You're talking about how unfortunate you are, all these things, and you're just kind of putting a bad energy that you can't control. When you play poker, you want to focus on when you got the money in. If you got the money in right, you made a good decision, you made a good call. You get aces all in pre-flop. The guy is ace king. You're 92%. You could check that on the CardsChat odds calculator, roughly, right, depending on the suits and what's going on. But you say you're 92%, give or take, or 92.6, I think it is. Favorite, they could flop a straight. You could lose, and you could talk about it, and you could be really upset, and that is okay. But you don't want to go complain to other people. It just doesn't really do much. It doesn't accomplish much. People don't like to hear it, and we're all guilty of it at times. Listen, even to this day, I've been playing professional poker for many years. I find myself, I'll talk to people or let them know I got unlucky, or if people buy a sweat of me, or if whatever, and tell it. And it's okay to be upset, but you really should try to focus on not dwelling on bad beats. You can't control that. It's not something you want to spend your time and energy on. It's not something you want to share with others because they just don't want to hear it. Antonio Esfandiari taught me this a long time ago. Phil Locke, Brian Rast, sort of not to do that. And listen, if you have a friend that is open to hearing bad beats, some people like kind of pain, misery. Maybe that's an extreme way to put it, but some people like the drama, like the and that's okay. But in general, I would say as a default, you should not be dropping your misfortune on other people's plate. I don't think it serves a good. Doesn't do much. It's not a positive thing, and I think everyone's going to be better off if we eliminate this bad beat. And more importantly, you should spend that time where you are talking about your unluckiness, your misfortune, your the negativity on how this happened or whatever. Why not focus on a spot where you had something that you were unsure about? A spot where I defended Jack 8 off, the flop came 8, 10, 4, and I checked. My opponent bet. I called once. The turn was a king. I checked. They bet 2/3 pot, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know if I should call, if I should fold, maybe even just raise, turn my hand into a bluff. At this point, these are things you should focus on. Spots that are tricky, spots that you're not sure about, challenging things that are worthwhile that you can actually control and use in the future to improve. So again, this is just something that it kind of came up again, and I really liked how Maria Konnikova articulated that with her experience with Eric Seidel, basically taught her that from the beginning. And I think that's a testament to Eric Seidel, what makes him so great, and how he is able to withstand the test of time in the game. And it's something, you play poker for 20, 30, 50 years. At some point, the bad beats get old, and you just don't want to hear it either. So that's my thought. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know if there's any specifically terrible bad beat, something like a one outer, you lose to a royal with quads, like those are different. But in general, keep the bad beats to yourself, and let's have fun while we play this beautiful game.